Are you sick of constantly dieting in order to lose weight? Yeah, me too. That's why I'm so excited to share 4 simple ways you can build your metabolism up so that you can actually eat more food while still burning fat. Now, I know it sounds crazy, but as a woman over 40, I actually eat more these days to lose up to a pound of fat per week. And if you're afraid this means pounding the cardio pavement, I'll tell you why I actually quit cardio in order to get even better results. Keep watching to learn about the routine that I follow so you can finally quit restrictive diets for good. Now, before we get into it, please like the video and subscribe. I want to show you how I finally got my scale to budge after 40, even after nothing else seemed to work. Hey, I'm Nissa, and my 100-pound weight loss story was featured in media like People magazine and Pop Sugar. Since then, I have helped hundreds of women break free with the same simple macro approach I use to lose 100 pounds. Okay, let's talk about 4 ways you can build your metabolism up so that you can achieve your fat loss goals by eating more food while focusing less on calorie burning workouts. As a woman who's been on some kind of weight loss diet since age 12, I know the dieting game all too well. Now, in the past, weight loss was always about finding ways to cut calories from my diet while burning more calories with intense cardio in order to achieve my fat loss goals. And while this routine always worked well for at least a little while, eventually all of the weight piled back on, only it always came back faster after every new diet I tried. It wasn't until I struggled with weight regain after 40 that I finally learned how to build my metabolism up so that I can finally eat more food while still reaching my goals. The first thing I did to boost my metabolism is I finally took resistance training seriously. While weight training was nothing new for me before hitting 40, building muscle was never really my priority. And little did I know back then what a huge mistake this was. Now, it's not that I feared getting bulky, as a lot of women do, but I was just pretty much lazy. Zoning out on cardio machines was way easier than learning how to lift with proper form. I also used to find strength training pretty boring, plus, I never really seemed to get results, so I always wondered, what's the point? Now that a solid strength training routine has become the staple of my fat loss plan, I wish I would have gotten with the weight training program decades ago. That's because there are a ton of benefits to strength training, both when it comes to improved health as well as burning more fat. When you follow a proper strength training program with progressive overload, you build lean muscle. And the more muscle you have, the more calories your body burns at rest. So that means women who have more muscle don't have to work so hard to burn fat since it just happens naturally. Now, before strength training, I ate somewhere between 13 to 1600 calories in order to lose weight. This plan also included plenty of calorie burning cardio. And even while I was following this very low calorie plan, I always plateaued at some point and eventually regained everything I lost once I could no longer sustain this level of low calories. Now that I strength train 4 days each week, the only cardio I do is walking. And on average, I eat somewhere around 2100 calories per day. And FYI, these are my weight loss calories, or where I typically eat in order to lose around 1 pound of fat per week. Now, once I hit my fat loss goal, I'm estimating that I'll be able to eat somewhere around 2500 calories or more just to maintain my weight. That's what happens when you take time to build your metabolism up by adding more muscle. You get to eat more food both during the weight loss phase as well as your maintenance phase. Whereas if you continue to solely rely on cutting calories while focused on adding more cardio, well, then you'll have to stay very low calorie pretty much forever, at least if you want to keep off what you lost. The second way I increased my metabolism after 40 is by eating more food, but more specifically, I eat a lot of protein. First of all, increasing your overall calories is important if you want to build muscle. That's because the less you eat, the less your body wants to hold on to the muscle that you have. Since muscle takes more calories just to maintain, if you're not eating enough, then your body is actually going to pare muscle down in response. This lowers your metabolism since the less muscle you have, the less calories you burn throughout the day. And while more food overall is important, protein is especially important since the amino acids in protein are required to build muscle. Also, when you drastically lower calories in order to lose fat at a quicker pace, your body lowers the amount of calories you burn throughout the day. So this means while you may be in a larger deficit at the start of your diet, eventually your body adapts and adjusts your metabolism down accordingly. This means you'll have to eat even less in order to lose fat. And eventually, you're just going to get to a place where it's not possible to eat any less. That is when the rapid weight gain begins. With that said, you do need to be in a calorie deficit in order to lose fat. The trick is you always want to diet on the most amount of calories possible in order to keep your metabolism as strong as possible while you're losing fat. Now, if your metabolism is already on the low end from too many years of overexercise and yo-yo diets, you can follow a reverse diet in conjunction with a resistance training program in order to speed your metabolism up. While this process requires a lot of patience, it is completely worth the long-term metabolism benefits that this process comes with. That way, you can finally be free from over-restrictive diets that only work for so long before you regain everything you lost. The third way I increased my metabolism after 40 is I gave up intense cardio. And this one was difficult coming from a former cardio addict. The reason I finally quit calorie burning cardio is once I began a solid weight training routine, I learned that I was sending my body mixed signals when I also attempted to burn more calories manually with intense cardio. Now that's because the more cardio that you do, the more your body is going to adapt. So what you have to do to manually burn a few hundred calories at the start of your diet is going to be much less than the amount of cardio you have to do a few weeks or a few months into your program. And the more cardio you do, the more your body adapts. Thus, the process of manually burning calories with intense cardio can actually slow your metabolism down over time. Now, I know this topic gets a little bit confusing because we've all been told to burn more calories for fat loss our entire lives, but the process goes a little bit like this. When you first start your program, maybe you're burning 200 calories during a 30-minute elliptical session, and that's actually being generous. Now, even though your smartwatch or the machine, it might show a bigger number, it's been shown that these estimates are actually off by a lot. Okay, but let's say that you are burning 200 calories in 30 minutes when starting your plan. Now, a few weeks in order to burn those same 200 calories, now you either have to go longer or you have to add more intensity. And remember, the more cardio you do, the quicker your body adapts. So as you can see, this is a losing long-term strategy since no one wants to spend their entire life on a cardio machine. And this doesn't even mention the fact that the calories you burn in the 30 minutes of work, they can be eaten back in less than 2 minutes by most people. Now, to add injury to insult, when I added resistance training to my program, I learned that I was sending the signal to be more inefficient with energy in order to build muscle. But then whenever I added on an intense cardio session in order to manually burn fat, well, now I'm telling my body to become more efficient with energy. So to burn less calories throughout the day, that's what the signal you're sending when you do too much cardio. So since more muscle burns more fat without any extra effort, the better signal to send my body is to be more inefficient with the energy in order to build muscle. This way, I can actually focus way less on manually burning calories in the future. And that brings us to the fourth way that I increase my metabolism over 40. Okay, I get that I just told you that I don't want you to send mixed signals when it comes to speeding up your metabolism with training, while also slowing down your metabolism with too much intense cardio. But that doesn't mean that it's time to become a couch potato. Now that's because even though your focus may no longer be cardio in order to burn calories, movement still matters when it comes to your fat loss plan. So when it comes to my winning fat loss equation, I began tracking daily steps. In order to bring my step count up from around 3,000 to 4,000 steps most days, I just added in a few moderate walks throughout the day. And while yes, walking does have a calorie burn associated with it, that's not the main reason that I added more daily steps. According to Dr. Huberman, most people burn fat with more calories each day with NEAT activity than you do with EAT activity. And in case you're not familiar with these terms, NEAT activity is daily movements like walking to the store from your car, or maybe fidgeting while you're at your desk, or just moving your arms around when you're filming a video. EAT activity, on the other hand, is purposeful exercise like going for a walk or maybe jogging on the treadmill. And since most people only exercise for 30 to 60 minutes each day, it makes sense that you can actually burn more calories through movement during the other 23 hours of the day. Now, in a recent podcast, Dr. Huberman said that those who have a habit of moving more, or those who just naturally fidget throughout the day, that they can burn anywhere from hundreds to thousands more calories each day. So perhaps this might explain that friend that everyone has who can eat anything he wants and never gain a pound. Your friend is likely fidgeting away the calories that he eats throughout the day. But since most people are highly sedentary once their daily workout is complete, it's helpful to track daily steps to ensure that you're moving enough in order to keep the calories out part of your fat loss equation balanced. Plus, even though you shouldn't necessarily aim to manually burn calories with intense cardio, that doesn't mean that cardio is all bad. Getting between 150 to 200 minutes of zone 2 cardio each week actually has a ton of other health benefits. So that's where adding a few moderate intensity walks, or maybe even walking on an inclined treadmill each day, comes in handy. Now, these daily walks can help improve heart health while also fighting off symptoms of anxiety and depression that often comes along with dieting. Okay, so those are 4 ways that I increase my metabolism over 40. Creating my fat loss routine around these 4 key pillars helps me eat way more food while still getting the results that I want.
And finally, if you want to learn how I help my clients build a strong metabolism, especially over 40, drop a comment below and I will send you my guide.